The Christmas season is one of the most expensive holidays for so many reasons. Today, we're finding out the top 10 most expensive Christmas classics ever made. It doesn't feel like the holidays without some Dr. Seuss movies on the watch list. First film part of the top 10 is the 2018 version of the Christmas movie Dr. Seuss's The Grinch, which is the highest grossing Christmas film ever made. With a production budget of $75 million, the film's opening weekend grossed $67.7 million and domestically $270 million. The sixth Illumination movie to accomplish this stat, The Grinch surpassed the $500 mark worldwide. Internationally, The Grinch has earned $231 million and opened as #1 in 30 territories, including Iceland, France, Spain, Belgium, and Greece. With the infamous Grinch being voiced by Benedict Cumberbatch, the movie has a great balance of family fun while also exploring the depths and pain of the creature created into a villain by the members of Whoville. I love this version of the movie because of how well the animation was done and the many layers it has to give this movie a perspective different from the ones we've seen in other versions. Speaking of The Grinch, the third film adaptation of this story is second on the top 10 most expensive Christmas movies. Soaring to #1 on opening weekend, How the Grinch Stole Christmas grossed $260 million domestically and $85 million in other regions. The worldwide profit of the film was $345 million, making it the sixth highest grossing film in 2000. In the second weekend, the film grossed $52 million and stayed at the top of the box office for 4 weekends. The live-action Grinch played by Jim Carrey is a classic tale about the bitter creature in Whoville who makes an effort to ruin Christmas for the residents of Whoville. Carrey reportedly made $20 million for his role in the film. With the production value and how well all the actors were reinterpreted in this live-action Dr. Seuss film, this movie is timeless and will always be an entertaining holiday film. Between these two movies, let me know in the comments below which you think is the best version of this creature who infamously hates Christmas. One of the biggest holiday blockbusters and my personal favorites, there's no surprise that the 1990 Christmas comedy Home Alone by Chris Columbus is charted as third in the top 10 most expensive Christmas movies ever made. Its large success caused it to hold the record of highest grossing live-action comedy ever until 2011. As an 8-year-old Kevin McAllister, played by Macaulay Culkin, is forgotten home alone after his family accidentally leaves him in an attempt to catch their flight in a rush, we follow the trouble Kevin somehow gets into while staying at home. Robbers Harry and Marv, played by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, find the neighborhood where they can cash out. The golden egg for them just so happens to be Kevin's house, who he feels the need to protect from these goofy robbers. The breakout role for Macaulay earned him $100,000, making him the highest paid child actor of the time. With an initial budget of $10 million, the movie premiered in Chicago on November 10th, followed by a wide release on the 16th. While spending 12 weeks at the box office, the worldwide box office was 31.8 times the production cost. This movie is so iconic that every time I watch it, it feels like I'm seeing it for the first time, and I, for one, have seen it countless times. The fourth film part of the top 10 is none other than the sequel to Home Alone 2. Yikes, he did it again! 10-year-old Kevin mistakes a stranger to be his dad and follows him onto the wrong plane. Ending up in New York with his dad's wallet, Kevin realizes a solo vacation in New York City may be better than in Florida surrounded by palm trees. Imagine actually being in a whole other state with your parents' money. That right there is a stress-free vacation. But as a 10-year-old with robbers chasing you again, but this time through the icy streets of New York City, how would you have handled this if it were you? Following the success of the first film, Macaulay's paycheck for this movie was a large amount of $4.5 million. Overall, the film's budget was $28 million with an opening of $31 million across over 2,000 theaters. It broke the record for having the largest November opening weekend and held the record until 1994. Although the franchise continued for 3 more movies with different directors and casts, the films have not gotten the same traction as the first 2. Home Alone and Home Alone 2 are in competition for being my favorite Christmas movie, but I want to know which of the 2 you like most, or if you like the other Home Alones. Comment your thoughts down below and let me know. Every time Disney releases a Christmas movie, I know it's going to be iconic. Fifth in the top 10 and reimagined in a lot of movie adaptations, many viewers have this Disney classic on their watch list. Add Jim Carrey playing the Scrooge and you have the perfect family-friendly Christmas film. Disney's A Christmas Carol is one of the most successful versions of the story ever told. earning $138 million in North America with a worldwide profit of $325.3 million. The film opened number 1, grossing $30.1 million its opening weekend. The motion capture technology used to make the film was Zemeckis' way of telling the story in the way he believes writer Charles Dickens meant for it to be interpreted. With a new appreciation for this style of film, especially for the time it came out, I think A Christmas Carol is another timeless masterpiece. 6th on our top 10 is The Polar Express. Based on the children's book, this reimagined version, directed by Robert Zemeckis, was introduced as a computer-animated fantasy film. Underperforming at the box office, the film grossed $286 million against the $170 million budget. Re-releases of the film helped push the worldwide profit to $314 million. The movie was also listed in the Guinness World Records as the first all-digital capture film. Tom Hanks, who is known for his 5 roles in the film, earned $40 million plus 20% of the first dollar gross for an estimated $100 million salary off this movie alone. Known to be one of the most popular Christmas movies, what is your favorite version of the story, the book or the movie? Filled with a star-studded cast in the 2003 rom-com, Love Actually is 7th on the list of top 10 most expensive Christmas movies. Not shockingly a box office success, the film grossed $246 million worldwide with a production budget of only $40 to $45 million. With stars including Hugh Grant, Liam Neeson, Keira Knightley, Emma Thompson, and more, this movie was obviously going to do well. Who wouldn't want to see a film with some of the bigger names in Hollywood join together to make a holiday movie? If they reprised the film, would you want them to follow the relationships from the previous movie or start new stories with new characters? Since the holidays can be quite the romantic season for many couples and lovers, there's no surprise the 2006 rom-com The Holiday starring Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, Jude Law, and Jack Black is 8th on our top 10 most expensive Christmas films. By the cast alone, I knew this movie was going to be a balanced mix of funny, sappy, and holiday-inspired. Opening at number 3, the film made $12 million the first weekend of December. Against a budget of only $85 million and earnings of $142 million at the international box office, The Holiday became the 12th highest-grossing film of the 2000s by a female director. Watching these actors make this holiday film such an iconic moment, I would love to see them make a second movie. What do you think? Drop a comment and tell me if you agree or you think the one movie is enough. The Santa Claus, a 1994 Christmas comedy starring Tim Allen, is our 9th film on the top 10 most expensive Christmas movies made. On the opening weekend, this Christmas movie grossed $19.3 million, finishing 2nd at the US box office. It later earned a total of $190 million worldwide. The first film to this movie franchise was so successful, there was no surprise to find out the other movies did exceptionally well too. With the 2nd and 3rd movies earning $193 million and $84.5 million, altogether the trilogy of films made around $370 million. Tim Allen, who plays Santa Claus in the movie franchise, went on to continue the series in 3 other movies and a TV series, The Clauses, which was released on Disney Plus in November of this year. So if you haven't already seen it, add this comedy series to your watch list this season. Classic comedy starring Will Ferrell, Elf is our final movie in the top 10. The budget for this movie was $33 million and grossed $223.9 million worldwide. While opening at number 2 with $31.1 million, it topped the box office on its 2nd week of release, earning $26.3 million. The casual Christmas singing done by Zooey Deschanel and Will Ferrell really tied the movie together, making it one of the greatest Christmas movies. I would love to see them work together again, even to make a potential Christmas album. If you agree, drop a comment down below. Will Ferrell, who plays Buddy the Elf in the first film, declined the sequel. I was sad to find out he turned it down, even though he was offered $29 million for the role. He didn't want to wear the tights, and I'm guessing they must have been really uncomfy for him to reject the huge amount because of it. We definitely will miss him if the sequel to the film does release. Depending on how they make the sequel, is there anyone you think would fit the repurposed role? Let me know. That's all for our top 10 most expensive Christmas movies ever made. Which movies on the list are your go-to holiday watches? Are there any that surprise you to have earned as much as they did? I want to know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your host, Jonina, and I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.